Monstro just dropped this week, and not only is he a better Howard the Duck, but he is better than people are giving him credit for. Monstro is an 8/8 that reads, this card's cost is reduced by the cost of your deck's top card. So Monstro. Monstro is an interesting one. He is a card that is kind of pushed in the middle of a season full of crazy cards that people are going to be giving all their attention to, but Monstro himself actually has some surprise power that people aren't realizing. This card does revolve around what deck you're playing him in, and I think deck construction is pretty important with this card. I did try a few lists, but I ended up settling on one that was kind of midway between being fun and viable. So I went with a Tribunal list, which have kind of dropped off a little bit since the Shadow nerf to duplicative effects becoming an additional Prime effects. I don't think this deck is really impacted by that here. I suppose if you get multiple copies of Onslaught, then yes, it will be. But for now, it kind of leads more into like a couple of different areas of trying to get Tribunal power high. So these decks used to run Howard the Duck, and I do think Monstro is just a better version of Howard now. The only downside being if Monstro is on the board, you no longer get that information. And it is quite a significant downside, and you kind of rely on a card like this in a deck like this to give you information. Otherwise it feels like a wasted draw, but otherwise it's giving you some pretty solid information. So first off we have Majestic Wingbeat, in here purely for the Iron Man, Onslaught and Tribunal cost reductions. Same thing with Mother Askani, you kind of want to hit those early and get their costs lower. Magik, because you need the additional turn preferably, it sort of plays a bit like a Galacti list. It's a bit harder to play than a Galacti list, but that is kind of where this falls. Chameleon's in here for the Onslaught kind of thing. Now this is where I was talking about before with if you play Onslaught and Chameleon, it's not doubling the double anymore, it's adding like an additional one. So that's kind of like the Shadow nerf. Mainly in here for the last turn plays with you're playing it on an Iron Man or you're playing it on an Onslaught. You could play it on a Sera if you're like turn 6 and you somehow got 8 energy, I don't know. Crazy things have happened. That is with a turn 7 from Magik that I'm accounting for there. Cosmo is in here to protect your lane with the Iron Man, but also offensively, because there's so many decks right now that are running on reveals, and Cosmo is definitely important for that. Jubilee, now, Jubilee I don't think is necessarily ran in Tribunal lists, tends to be cut, but when you're running Monstro, you definitely want to try and run this card, because Monstro is telling you what's on top of your deck, and then when you play Jubilee, obviously it brings down the card that's on top of your deck. I think it has helped me a lot more in cases where I haven't played Jubilee and played something else instead. Because like beforehand I probably would have played Jubilee, right? But if Monstro costs 7, I'm not playing a Jubilee to bring out a Majestic Wingbeat. Whereas if Monstro costs 2, I know I'm getting Onslaught or Living Tribunal. So that's the main reason that kind of balance works. Isca. Now Isca is in here for a couple of reasons. Majestic Wingbeat and Mother Askani work perfectly with her, but also she kind of has a nice utility with Living Tribunal that people haven't really been messing around with yet. If you play her and she's doubled and she's say like she's on 12 power, she's winning her lane by a lot. Living Tribunal then splits the power between the lanes, she's no longer winning her lane, meaning she's going to double again and give an extra 12 power between the other 3 lanes. Not as crazy heights as playing like Iron Man Onslaught, but it's still an alternative win condition that does actually get you there. Now Mother Askani, your main targets here are the Iron Mans, the Seras, Onslaughts, Living Tribunals. You can hit Monstro. If you get Monstro and then Monstro finds like a 6-drop and then you have 2 1/10s, that's pretty solid. Might even be enough for Living Tribunal on its own with Iron Man without the need for Onslaught. So that sort of thing is definitely worthwhile keeping an eye out for. A lot of the time, Living Tribunal can be in the left of your hand, which isn't great. Same with Onslaught. Onslaught might not be as bad if you Magic for turn 7 sort of thing. But again, that's another instance of making sure you're aware that Onslaught isn't doubling the effects anymore. And yeah, I think that about wraps it up, because the whole Iron Man Onslaught Tribunal thing is quite obvious. If you have Sera and you Onslaught the Sera, everything is being discounted to a crazy cost reduction. These decks used to run things like Ravona. Could run Ravona. I was leaning away from it slightly because we only have Iron Man and Jubilee. You can also run Mystique. With a deck like that, you could go higher. The only downside is you don't have the consistency of being able to pull back those games where you don't draw the Iron Man Onslaught kind of things. So that was it for the deck. Monstro definitely gives Tribunal a bit of a boost, and hey, even try it out in things like Ramp. I also had a deck before that I've featured in my Akari video. I've tried Monstro there as well, seems pretty good, but I wanted to change it up a little bit. I didn't want to do another video with my Akari deck like 2 weeks after Akari release sort of thing. So I went with this crazy, wacky deck here, and I hope you guys enjoy the gameplay highlights. Wow, okay. Nicholas Scratch it is. Ah, would have been nice to play Monstro. That's actually an unfair advantage card to get from Triskelion. And that's not a Triskelion card. Well, the Askani doesn't do much here. Oh, hopefully we get something good from Cave of the Dragon. Not too bad. They've pulled their brood out now. We don't have Iron Man. Iron Man would have been nice. This feels pretty good actually after getting War Machine. Now they can only play there. Can stop with Cosmo as well, by the looks of things. Snap. Actually, Cosmo, like Mother Askani or something. Will Living Tribunal put the power there above 17 though? That's the problem. Probably not. Then we just have to hope we draw Iron Man. Yeah. Victory! The War Machine Professor X. It made up for the 14 power mad finger. Insane. Don't think I've ever heard that sound effect. Okay, we're up against a Thanos player. Wingbeat here feels pretty decent actually. Would have been better to wait a turn. If I had actually have waited a turn, it was probably a snap condition. This would have given me enough to play Sera. Well, Chameleon, yeah, I don't think so. I'll keep the left location as my Living Tribunal one. Oh, that's nice. I could Jubilee here. If I get Onslaught, I don't know. I don't really think it's going to. It's not going to help me anyway, that's what I was trying to say. If I play Jubilee here and it pulls Onslaught, I can't really play my ongoings here. Okay, well, I guess we're playing completely random. Unless I Magik. How would that look? It would be Magik, Iron Man, Living Tribunal. Yeah. Even better. I was wondering if something like that would have happened.
Behold my mighty hand.
I'm about to juice this up.
Okay. I mean, they can probably do better than me here. I was thinking Chameleon. The average 3-drop is 3-5. That would just tie me here. But my other choices aren't that much better. Yeah, never mind. Literally did 2 low roll 3-drops. Getting Onslaught as 5 cost is nice, but I've learnt my lesson. I'll wait 1 turn for Majestic Wingbeat. That's why. I don't have a 2-drop in the deck, so... Four 12s. Well, if my Cosmo goes left, I honestly don't mind too much. It's worth it to stop this possibly sky rolling in the middle. I just realized I can Onslaught and then Sera. I was debating Isca. I wondered if Isca now would be better. I do get Living Tribunal next turn.
Behold my mighty hand.
Which is for sure something worth considering. Do Sera. Sera goes here. Imagine I get Iron Man. That would be insane. But I wouldn't be able to play Tribunal and Iron Man. But it's always Sera, right? It's never anything else. Yeah. Go left. Oh, right, still okay. And I can play Tribunal Iron Man. No Iron Man today, however. Although, could technically... Oh, that was about to be Iron Man, wasn't it? Monstro was reduced by 3 from Sera and 5. So Jubilee would have pulled Iron Man. Wow, I almost wish that they'd stayed just so that I could have pulled that one off, but that's a nice game regardless. And all because I waited on the Majestic Wingbeat. Should really stop recording late. I've been having some kind of dumb losses recently. I just played a Cosmo into a Galacti and felt like it was a certain win condition. Only to then realise I was actually going second. I'm just glad that I had restraint not to snap. Yeah, I have to Wingbeat before Askani. Okay, so the game is rewarding me with a bot. It would seem. Play Isca. Could technically play Jubilee, but I wasn't 100% sure on what card was coming up next. Which is why, yeah. Dude, the Jubilee play and hope that I just get Onslaught in the next 2 turns. Oh, don't hit Tribunal. Did you hit Tribunal?
I am Iron Man.
Like the game actually wants me to suffer now. Askani? I mean, sure. Don't know what that's gonna get me, but I'm snapping. So why wouldn't I snap? That snap was supposed to go through before the turn ended, but let's see. Does the bot pull something insane out of the hat?
Behold my mighty hand.
Not quite. Well, there's the pity game for me. After my ridiculous plays. I probably won't even include that game, but just know that I was very happy with that until I noticed that Cosmo. I felt dumb. It's probably because of how tired I am, but let's just ignore that. I want to move on, shall I? Oh, Boston could actually pull through. Get us Living Tribunal combo. Majestic Wingbeat is the next thing in my hand. It looks like it's going to Sera whether I like it or not, which, to be fair, I do kind of like it. And then it would be Magik or Chameleon. But again, not sure which one I like more. Wow. And then it's Magik. Okay. This almost feels snap-worthy. But because I don't know if I'll get Iron Man yet, it's... yeah. Now I can let the shenanigans ensue. Oh, it's Cosmo. And Monstro is -4, meaning it's not Iron Man. Okay. Changes things slightly. Oh, Jubilee here. That means I bring out whether it's Isca or Askani. Then I could... oh, yeah, I think I just have to wait. Screw it. I'm going for it. Ah, they retreated. They expected, to be fair. After seeing 4 Seras, you don't know what's about to happen. Okay, so we got Wingbeat. Wow, okay. I'm actually in a pretty good position for this. But until I know what the opponent's running, I'm not going to do anything about it. Monstro has just gone up, so that means it's Isca or Jubilee. Kind of hope it's Isca. Isca Iron Man, yeah. Are they playing TOV? Cosmo. I mean, that's fine by me. Yeah, that's more than fine by me. Okay. Did we surprise them with the Iron Man on the last turn? Nah, I think it's fine.
I am Iron Man.
I think we are more than okay there. Yeah, and then Cosmo was the last card in deck. Well.
Victory!
Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't run, but to be fair, they could have had no idea what was in my deck. So, for my Monstro review, what do I think of this card? Now, as you probably saw in the gameplay, the card was pulling its weight here and there, but also, it doesn't feel like I would rather run Monstro over something like Majestic. Monstro does help a lot though, I will say. It probably gives you some retreat value when you wouldn't know if to retreat or not. Or if the opponent snaps and you have Jubilee and you have everything on the board except one 6-drop, Monstro costs 2 in your hand, and you know by pulling out that Tribunal you're going to win the game, that sort of thing. I don't think outright the card looks crazy, but it does have that kind of hidden value, if that makes sense. However, do I recommend the card? Because this is coming out in a month with a bunch of crazy cards, I think even when I rated this card, I think I gave it like a 3.5. 3.5 might be slightly high. I think I'd probably give it a 3, but I still don't think it's as bad as people are giving it kind of like all the negative criticism. It does have its uses, and in ramp, honestly, it worked pretty well. I'd recommend trying out a deck like that. I didn't want to go for like a simple ramp deck in the video, but let me know if you want to see the list that I ran with this. I think I had more luck than I did with this deck. But again, I didn't want to just showcase ramp. I wanted to showcase something a bit wackier. But yeah, for picking the card up, I'd probably say avoid it unless you're an avid ramp deck player, or if you really like Tribunal. But again, if you really like Tribunal, I'm not sure I recommend it for this deck too well, if that makes sense. But yeah, I hope you guys are having a lovely day, and that wraps it up from me. I will see you guys in the next one.